ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. So things are a bit hectic at the moment. You might be able to tell if you're over on Patreon, because we have multiple things happening and getting prepared for tonight's live stream. I didn't have a lot of time to get prepared, so things might be a little bit ropey tonight. Let's find out. So hello to you guys in the live chat room. I can see you over there. Let's have a quick shout out. We have Deborah, Bernadine, Bob, Angela Sue, Rocker Girl, Terry, Bob, Ro, Julesy, Carla, Totoda, Pocket, PM112, Patrick, Daisy, Joe, Karen. Oh, and then I've lost it as it's gone through. So, yeah, hello everybody. And, oh yeah, just a quick word on the hair tonight. Because I, have been rushing around, I don't know what's happening with the hair, but all I do know is that I need a haircut. Quite desperately, because I'm within probably a centimetre or two of not being able to see anything. So it's just, as always, it's doing what it is doing. But anyway, tonight, actually, I don't know whether, have I zoomed in? I'm waiting to see if the red dude, yeah, there he is, he appears. Oh, and I'll have to remember to zoom out, as always, for the jam if we have one at the end of the live stream. So anyway, yes, things are hectic at the moment, and today, actually, I mean throughout the whole day and last night as well, I've been getting together lots and lots of data. So what's going to be happening is I'm going to be doing a video that I'm aiming to get edited, finished and released by Sunday. And that's something that I'm working on at the moment. And over on Patreon, I told you all last night that, yeah, it is taking up a lot of my time, because in all, it's going to be, 3.5 hours worth of footage that I'm looking at. But that includes 2 separate shows that I'm going through and kind of running them at the same time to compare things and break things down. And that's something that I'm going to be doing on Sunday. But as you can imagine, normally I'll do an analysis video on a song. And a song can be anywhere from, generally 3 to 5 minutes. There are longer songs, but it will be in that kind of area. So it means that I'm putting 3 to 5 minutes worth of audio through the isolating process, but also the pitch monitoring software. So running it through, I mean, there's no way of doing that quickly, running audio through the pitch monitoring software. And I know that on the pitch monitoring app, the vocal pitch monitor, you can import the files, and I think it just works with WAV files. But in my experience, years ago when I started using it, I found that wasn't as reliable as using reference speakers and literally feeding it through a microphone into the vocal pitch monitor. So that's something that, I started doing years ago, because it was by far the most reliable way of doing it. So yeah, there's no way of, well, technically there is a way to do a shortcut so that you can just upload it, but it's not as reliable in my experience. So this is why for, 5 or 6 years, I literally play it through reference speakers, and reference speakers are like studio grade, speakers that aren't like your speakers that you get at home. It means that you get a true representation of what you're playing, and it's not colored in either way from an EQ perspective with brightness or adding sometimes you get speaker systems that have a particular setting like rock or R&B or jazz, and it will do something to the EQ curve of the audio that you're listening to in order to color it that way to make it sound brighter or duller, or to give it more vibrancy, all these different words. But anyway, reference speakers don't do that. They just tell you what it is and you hear what it is. So yeah, there is a quick way of doing it, but I don't do that. I literally feed through the vocal pitch monitor the whole audio as it is. So it means that for a 3 to 5 minute song, that's fine. But when you're talking about 3.5 hours worth of audio, mathematicians among you might have worked out exactly how long that's going to take. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing on for the video on Sunday. So yeah, look out for that. At the moment, I'm working my way through it. So as for tomorrow night's video, I'm a bit undecided as to what I'll do. It's going to have to be something that's obviously a little bit less work intensive, so I'll find something that I can release tomorrow night, and Friday night I have to look at what we can do then as well. But my main focus is getting all of this data, and yeah, it is certainly going to be interesting from what I've seen from it so far. So anyway, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. And it looks like the names are going to go through in a random order, which is fine, but it should start with sponsored by. Hey, there we go. Sponsored by the Wings of Pegasus patrons. So yeah, you know who you are. Thank you guys for all of your support over on Patreon. And I've been keeping you guys in the loop over there. And thank you guys for answering my request, my emergency request last night. And that's something that, yeah, I've now resolved that. And it was actually very difficult because, yeah, thank you for all of the responses and people linking me to different videos. But it's actually something that is kind of very specific. I needed people who were effectively qualified as either music technicians or producers who have ideally been doing it for a lifetime to understand what I do with the pitch data and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is quite specific, but I did have some people that I could call on who responded, which was great. And this is another reason for tonight's live stream being a little bit less organised. And let me just get on screen the likes goal. We're going to be aiming for 515 tonight. If you can hit that thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And we are at 259, that says. So, and a little bit of a jump there. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. And yeah, if you can keep on doing that, we'll have a jam at the end of the live stream. But anyway, back to my point of, being a little bit disorganized tonight, because I had a call from Warren Hewitt, who has a channel on YouTube called Produce Like a Pro. And you might have seen that if you're into production, a very popular channel. But I mean, Warren is a producer, but also musician, instrumentalist. And he's a multi-platinum selling producer, so yeah, he knows what he's talking about. But anyway, he gave me a call earlier, and yeah, we were talking for about 2 hours about so many different things, because of course, you know, he watches my channel and the things that I bring up that, you know, he likes to kind of discuss, and we kind of, I don't know, chew the fat on loads of different topics and things about production, but also the music industry as a whole. And pitch correction, auto-tune, all these different things. And then back in the day, you know, Speed and working with tape, analog, and, you know, Pro Tools, you know, when that started to come in. So yeah, I'm just going to skip this advert here. But yeah, this is why, because I was talking for a couple of hours with Warren earlier, I didn't factor that in to my day. So it means that I was then getting things, trying to get things organised for tonight's live stream, but then also for tomorrow's video and all that kind of stuff. But always great to have a chat. And I mean, we've said we've got to do a video together at some point. So we will do that in the future. So yeah, look out for that. But had a bit of a chat. Oh, and Warren is in the live chat room. I can see Produce Like a Pro. So yeah, thank you, Warren, for jumping into the live stream tonight. So yeah, it's great to have a chat with you earlier. So yeah, anyway, as for tonight's live stream, we're going to be pushing forward as we always do. And saying about pushing forward, I know that I haven't changed this before. I'm about to show this up on screen, so I'm going to try and do this and change it while talking. So I will address the first donation. By the way, as I always say, you don't have to donate, just watching is great. So thank you guys for watching, tuning into these live streams as well. And I know that some of you can't resist donating, so I think it's important for those people that they know that between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. But like I said, you don't have to pay for anything or donate. That goes for the requests for analysis videos as well. Just let me know what you want me to take a look at, and I'll just add it to my list, and that's how things work. But of course, the donations are very much appreciated. So thank you guys for doing that. And Paul donated $5 in the super chat window. So thank you for that, Paul. And yeah, the $5 donation comes with a message that says, "Here we grow again, 434,000 subscribers. Have fun tonight and spike those likes all, y'all. Can we get a plug of the mug? Rock." So thank you for that. And I didn't even change it, even though I said I was going to change it. But here we have, hopefully, the right number on screen, 434,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing, of course, and leaving your comments and interacting with the channel, hitting the thumbs up, all of that cool stuff. And you will have to hit that notification bell to get notified for all of my videos and the live streams. So yeah, if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you do that. But we will keep on going to see where we end up. It's a crazy number already, but yeah, thank you everyone for watching and interacting with me on the channel, but especially during these live streams as well, so I can see you all go through the live chat room. But let's shut everybody up, and we will get into Elaine's donation for $2, so thank you for that. And the message was, "Your hair looks extra yummy tonight, Phil." So thank you for that. Oh, and I didn't do a plug of the mug. There you go. So here's a plug of the mug. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then you can do. There's a tray underneath this video. If you can't see the tray, then there's a link in the description below. If you click on that, the spring.com store, and that will take you through to the merchandise. And yeah, we've got hoodies and caps and tumblers and glasses and mugs and all that kind of stuff, so you can check it out. So there have been donations over on PayPal as well, so thank you guys for these. And I will actually jump into one that for some reason didn't come through until when I was about to start the live stream, probably about half an hour ago, something like that. It came through from the last live stream, or just after. So yeah, this was from Debbie, who donated £10. So thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, "Hi Phil, congrats on 433,000 subscribers. So glad your channel keeps growing. And thank you for your great and informative videos. You're the best. Love you, Debbie." So thank you for the kind words and also the donation. And Sue donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Sue. And the message is, "Hi Phil, this is for showing us that even as your channel grows and you get recognised by the music industry, you put still integrity above profits. Bravo, Sue." So thank you for that, Sue. And there is another one. This is where, yeah, we're at the beginning of the month. So this is where, through PayPal, all of the subscriptions and things, for this software and Adobe, that's the one that shows up all the time, where you get charged monthly. This is the other thing, that back in the day, when you used to buy software, you just bought software and then it was yours forever. And now it's a monthly thing. So yeah, at the beginning of the month, through PayPal, I get all of these messages from all of the various software things that you have to pay for monthly. So you're constantly paying like $9.99 for the same software. And even if I know that they say, "Oh yeah, but the reason that we charge you every month is because we're updating it all the time," I don't really care about the updates because the software already does what I want it to do. So just leave it as it is and let me just buy it for a one-off fee. But yeah, obviously that's not as profitable. Anyway, thank you, Lara, for this £33.22 donation. And the message is, "Hi, congratulations on 434,000 subscribers. Keep up the great work. After 6 weeks of 60-hour work weeks, this will be the last long work week for a while, and I won't have to be on the catch-up crew and will be able to join in the live streams. Have a great live stream tonight, wingers, and don't forget to spike the likes, Lara." So thank you for that, Lara. And yeah, spike the likes if you could do. That's very much appreciated. And I'm just seeing at the top of the live chat room, we have the vote for tonight's cover video. And Parisian Walkways is actually in the lead. It's got 60% of the vote, and this is one that's been requested many times now over on Patreon, and it's always lost out to whatever the other request was. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. It's just gone down by 1%, just because I said that. But it's between Parisian Walkways and Just Got Lucky by Dockham. So we'll be able to see either of those two songs later on. Of course, it's going to be my version of either of those. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that vote. Right, I'm just going to jump into that PayPal window again because Tammy donated £25. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message was, "Hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 434,000 subscribers. I'm thrilled to see your hard work pay off. Keep pushing forward. Love and rock." So thank you for that. And just quickly skipping to the next one. Sue has donated £20. Thank you for that, Sue. And the message is, "Hi Phil, straight up donation for another fabulous Tuesday night live stream." Sue. So thank you for that, Sue. And yes, as everyone knows, technically not a straight up donation with a message, but thank you for the message. And Julia has donated £5 as well. So thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation. So, Zoom in Tunes has donated $4, so thank you for that. And the message is, "Fan of Kate Bush and Amy Grant. Your thoughts on them?" Well, I mean, I'd say that Amy Grant, I know that I haven't done an analysis video on, but Kate Bush, I have done an analysis video on. So yeah, I think so I'll kind of talk about Kate Bush, but you know, as you can tell from my hair, I'm very much a kind of rock and roll kind of guy. So kind of hard rock, all that kind of stuff in the 80s, that was my kind of thing. But obviously Kate Bush is an artist that I think the majority of the world probably know. But anyway, yeah, I think sometimes you get artists, I mean kind of genuine artists. I know that technically you can refer to people in the music industry as artists, and they are referred to like singers, but I think that Kate was one of those, one of those artists who did more than just the music. It was, about the show. I mean, ironically nowadays, the shows have kind of gone crazy when you go to watch a show, also kind of how much they cost. But when you go to watch a show, there kind of is so much. But I would say that, Kate Bush was when you start thinking about it, there's so many things that you could say, well, that was unique. Just the sound of her voice. When you're listening to that vocal and her tone, and it's quite piercing, but it's unique. It's something that you know that voice straight away. So whenever you kind of get into Wuthering Heights and you listen to that vocal, you say, well, who else would have sung it like that? And that's the point. Nobody would have sung it like that. And that's the kind of the fingerprint of the artist is the voice, but also her dancing. Actually, this is something that just reminded me about her dancing and what we've been saying recently about live shows, and some people saying that when there's a lot of dancing in somebody's set, it's going to be impossible to lay down an accurate vocal because of the the impact. If you are running, for example, and I know that an artist that I've featured very recently in my channel, some people said, the reason that she can nail her vocals while she's running on stage is because she trained to do it on a treadmill. And first of all, anybody that properly sings knows that if you're going running, you are not, it is physically impossible to get a studio quality vocal when you are running. When somebody is training, and somebody said, Janet Jackson, she used to train on a treadmill and do her set and sing at the same time in order to train for the show. The reason that artists do that is, and singers do that, is because they're not trying to nail the pitch of their vocal. They are literally working at their fitness in order to, because when you're singing a phrase, obviously you're not breathing with the same cadence, or you're not breathing at the same speed that you would do if you were just running, because when you're running you have a very set frequency of breathing, so that your body can recover. If you interrupt that frequency, for example, by singing a vocal phrase for 3 or 5 seconds, you might be holding a note. It means that your body is having to adapt to the fact that you're not getting enough oxygen into your system. So that is building your fitness to not take in the same amount of air that you normally would do. So that's a fitness thing. It's not about being able to hit notes, like you see on A440 standard pitch equal temperament, perfectly over the lines all the time. They're not training for that reason. So again, it's maybe the fans that don't necessarily understand the reason for that training is for the fitness, to be able to do it, not necessarily the accuracy, and nobody can be that accurate when they're running. And there are points that in different shows, and in the show that I'm going to be looking at on Sunday, where the artist is not even running, but just doing a brisk walk. And when you listen closely to the vocal, you can hear it going off pitch because the walking is brisk. So the impact of the feet, so much will throw it off. And I know that other people say, oh, well, Tina Turner did it, for example. She'd have loads of dancing in there and she would still nail the vocal. And that is true, but she wasn't nailing the vocal so that it looked like auto-tune. She wasn't over those lines. She was sharp, she was flat, and she had expression in her voice. So all of that movement was part of the show and part of her voice. It's such a huge part of somebody's voice. Once you start tuning a voice, obviously they lose all of that expression. So that's why it can look a bit weird where somebody's doing all of this dancing, but you're hearing this vocal that is just absolutely snapped all the time, just perfectly over lines. It shouldn't sound like that. And this is why when you watch someone like Tina Turner with historic performances at Wembley, for example, and that's kind of one show that I saw just on TV, and I thought, well, this is raising the bar for what you're doing and you're singing at the same time. But again, it's a world away from having something that is auto-tuned for somebody who's dancing and who's worked at being able to do that. So yeah, this is it. Getting on the treadmill is not something that you're going to be able to run and nail these notes. So yeah, anyway, I just got reminded of that because of the Kate Bush thing. Again, I start kind of getting sidetracked, but somebody said, and again, I can't quantify this, but somebody said that Kate Bush, when they went to watch a show, she stated that some of her songs are going to be lip synced because of the stage show and the dancing, and it's not something that's feasible for her to be able to do with her artistic performance. And when I say performance, I mean that not even from a vocal point of view, but a physical performance, something that she's worked into the show. She said, or this person had said that, you could say it's hearsay, but this is something that they sent to me, saying that she stated just openly that there might be some lip synced sections because of the dancing. And they didn't have a problem with that. At least this person who emailed me said, because they understand that, sometimes when you're jumping up and down in the air and there's a vocal, she obviously decided that it's going to be better for the interpretation of the whole artistic performance and not the performance of the vocal, but the overall, I was going to say skeptical, but spectacle is the word that I actually want. In order to have that artistic spectacle, some of it had to be lip synced. So there you go. I think honesty is always the best policy, because when you're not honest about things, and then things, we'll get into troll corner a little bit later on, but when things then are revealed, it's so much better to just say, look, yes, I did that, and that's what it was. And especially when objective proof has been supplied, there's nowhere really to go from there. So I think when it's then trying to be hidden, that's where things get a little bit dodgy, because if it's trying to be hidden and then it comes out and it is proof of something that people have been denying, it's a very difficult position to be in. But anyway, we will move on. Oh, thank you, Zoom in Tunes, for that donation. And I can see that Ari has donated $9.99 as well. So hopefully that's the way to say your first name, so apologies if I have not quite got that right, but it is their third super chat donation in the super chat window, so thank you for that. And the message is learning a ton and thoroughly enjoying all your content, Phil. Thanks for great analysis and cover vids. So thank you for that. Ari, or Ari, it might be that. Ari, I'm not sure. But thank you for that donation. Maybe you can let me know in the live chat room so that I know, rather than just getting it wrong all the time. But your donation is very much appreciated. I am just quickly going to hop over to the PayPal window because Karen has donated £5.72. So thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 434,000 subscribers. Your dedication and overall integrity is much appreciated. Speaking of hair, Chipper likes to preen mine. Now he's staring at your hair rather longingly. Joking aside, thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm sure that any bird would probably like to, I'm talking about an animal. Sometimes we say bird, referring, well, we don't really, but some people do. Maybe back in the Only Fools and Horses generation, something like that, calling a woman a bird. So anyway, I get sidetracked. So I'm talking about, any, well, in this case, Chipper, but a bird that would like to, peck at things. I'm sure that they could peck my hair, or probably want to, or kind of grab it. Might improve it actually to move my hair around a little bit tonight. But anyway, thank you for that, Karen. So, in other news, we have here in the UK, and this is something that I totally missed. Doesn't surprise me because I'm kind of doing stuff all the time, but we have the new Skinwalker Ranch series that is being shown. So yeah, that's something that I've been trying to catch up on. And I think it started, I don't know, maybe a month ago, month and a half, maybe 2 months. I might be a little bit late, but I just missed it when it must have been released. So there you go. I'm watching, or trying to watch, a bit of Skinwalker Ranch. And yeah, again, it seems to be much of the same. That they're trying to dig into the mesa. And they can't dig into the mesa, so they get another drill, and they can't dig into it. It gets stuck. So then they get another drill, and it gets stuck. So then they get a bigger drill, and it gets stuck. So it's like, oh, okay. So at what point do you just go in there with a bulldozer and say, look, I've lost my patience with this. Let's just kind of get on with it. But yeah, so I've been watching that. The only thing that happens on that show is that they do keep on going back. And now they've got 5 series worth of content that they can keep looking back at. And of course, if you've watched all of it, you know all of that's happened. So why do they keep on telling us about it? Well, it's to fill time. That's why, to make a half an hour show into an hour show. So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating to watch. I would say it's borderline on the limit for me. I find it interesting, but it's borderline on the limit. The way that it's edited, always going back. In every single episode, they have been back to the footage where they say that they found something in the mesa that is spacecraft material that is the same that NASA uses to, and I'm almost saying it here word for word because they repeat it every single time. And in every episode of the new series that I've seen so far. So yeah, they say, it's NASA grade material that spaceships use in order to shield them from the Earth's atmosphere. And it's just, they keep on saying that and they keep going back to that. And it's like, well, yeah, you said this in the last episode, and then you said that in the episode before, and you said that in the episode before, and you said that in the episode before. So yeah, like I said, it's right on the limit as to where I think, this is really difficult to watch, but I do find it interesting. So I have to keep on watching. But there's another one called Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, and I think that's probably a little bit better. They don't do as much looking back. But then again, that's only the second series that they're doing at the moment. So yeah, I think that the other, Beyond Skinwalker Ranch is a little bit of an easier watch. So, but there you go. That's the series that I like to watch when it comes around, and it has now come around in the UK. So there you go. Anyway, thank you, Karen, for that donation. And Lynn has donated £55 and 19 pence. So thank you for that, Lynn. The message is, Phil, don't miss the last 4 episodes of Skinwalker Ranch. It gets interesting at the end. So thank you for that. And yeah, I will keep on watching. I mean, things are, relatively interesting. And, I can see Chris Lipe is in the live chat room. So hello, Chris. Oh, just wanted to say hi to Phil. And then it's gone through the top. But anyway, thank you, Chris, for tuning in. So yeah, great to have Chris in the live chat room. I did a video with Chris quite a long time ago now. We're looking at Michael Jackson, and interestingly, when I was talking with Warren, who was in the live chat room earlier as well. We were talking about Michael Jackson, and this is just a call that I had with Warren earlier, and we were talking about Michael Jackson as an artist, and actually we were talking about Thriller, the album, and the mixing, and Quincy Jones, because of the sad news that he's passed away recently. But we're talking about the Thriller album, kind of how it was mixed, but also something that Warren mentioned is he was going through the Thriller album, listening to the mix, but also taking out Michael Jackson's voice. But not only taking out his voice, but taking out everything that he did, so that he was just listening to the instrumental. So how it had been mixed, panned, all that kind of stuff. And he said that album, even though it's the biggest selling album of all time, the way that it's been produced, when you take Michael out of the equation, it loses so much. And this, I mean, obviously, it's something that you would have to do, and you need to have access to the album and the stems and all that kind of stuff in order to listen to it in that way. But you're saying that the amount of input Michael had, not only vocally, but and this is something that myself and Chris spoke about on our kind of joint analysis. It's all of the percussion, like the stuff that he throws in that has a groove, but it's not vocals. It's just things that he even kind of clicking his fingers, or tapping his feet, or breathing in a particular way. So yeah, I mean, it's fascinating to especially kind of talk with producers about it, but just what he brought to the table as an artist. But when I say an artist, like musically, what he gave to obviously the session musicians, telling them what he wanted, and I'm sure Quincy did a lot of that as well, but just having that percussive element in there, and elements in there that might just be noises that aren't necessarily a particular note, but it's all part of it. It's amazing, when you kind of roll it all together. So yeah, it's just interesting that Chris is in the house tonight, and we did that analysis on Michael Jackson, because there's so much in his voice, first of all, but from just him as an artist and what he put into every single recording, that just made it totally unique. And then I said to Warren earlier that when I was talking to Morris Hayes, who played keys for Prince for best part of 20 years, even Prince, because Prince knew Michael well, even Prince would say to the guys that we've just got to leave Michael alone, because he does his own thing. And Prince was well aware that you can't compete with someone like that. You've got to own what you do. As Michael owned what he did, Prince knew what he could do, and obviously was very comfortable as an artist himself. So I think actually there's a lot of the opposite in the industry, where people look at other artists and they try and think, right, I want to be like you, or I want to do what you do, but then they lose their own identity because they're focusing on somebody else. So a really important lesson, especially if you're going to listen to two people, probably Michael Jackson and Prince are probably up there for what they do artistically, but to then hear from kind of one camp that having that kind of artist around at the same time. And I know that here in the UK they got compared, it was Prince versus Michael Jackson, and it's ridiculous really, because they were totally different artists, absolutely totally different. I mean, I know that Prince, when he in his earlier performances, he did a lot of dancing, but he then kind of migrated away from that, and certainly very much got into, I mean, when you're talking about electric guitar, lead guitar playing, he just kind of excelled in that. But he wasn't a multi-instrumentalist, of course. But two totally different artists, but because of the pop industry and all that kind of stuff here in the UK, they got thrown together. But when you kind of look at it with that eye of artistry and musicianship, all these different things. Totally different artists. So yeah, it was a bit of a silly comparison, but I guess it sold magazines and, you know, had all that kind of effect that they were going for back in the day. But anyway, let's now move on. Had another donation over on PayPal, so thank you for this. And it's Ari as well. Oh, here we go. So Ari's donated £8. Thank you for that. And the message is making up for YouTube taking a share of my super chat donation. And then Ari rhymes with Safari. So thank you for that. So I think maybe I got it wrong the first time I said it, but thank you for clarifying so that I know for the future and for that donation. So Totoro Polko's just donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, your esteemed guests deserve a Phil tune. So thank you for that. And yeah, this is the other thing that I know for a fact that, yeah, people that I interact with on YouTube and, you know, might have done interviews with or collaborations with, all that kind of stuff. I know that they've been through exactly the same kinds of situations that I've been through when they've been working with, you know, people, and yeah, things have just been an absolute nightmare. So yeah, I think everyone has that, where when you get to a certain point of your journey where, you know, for example, now, you know, having the number of subscribers that I do and you guys that join me for the videos and the live streams, you know, I think everyone's had a journey that's brought them to that point where they've had to learn lots of different things and also kind of take the knocks. And, you know, there's been plenty, you know, I've been doing this a hell of a long time, you know, when we're thinking about, you know, playing in cover bands when I was 19. So it's like over 20 years of doing music, playing live, working at it, you know, obviously playing guitar since the age of 11, but working at your craft and trying to kind of make your way in music. So we've all gone on a very long journey. There's plenty of knocks that you take along the way. And I think everyone who gets to that stage, it's impossible to not get there without having all of those things that you all have in common, that you can say, yeah, I've been through that, or I've been through that similar scenario that person's talking about. So yeah, it's something that you can discuss as well, because it's always interesting to hear other people's journeys. So yes, thank you for the donations tonight, guys. As I say, you don't have to donate, but they are very much appreciated. And I can see that we are 3 likes away from hitting our target for tonight of 515, which means we're going to be jumping into Phil Jam number 185. It is tonight. So we'll jump into Joe's track that he would have sent me over on Patreon. And yeah, we'll just have a jam, we'll bust out the guitar, and I can see that we have now hit the target. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. Now, Orlando's just jumped in there with a $2 donation. So thank you for that, Orlando, with the thumbs up as well. So, yes, in tonight's live stream, we're not going to be having a picture corner, but we will be having a troll corner, which we'll jump into at some point. I'm wondering whether... I mean, Parisian Walkways has 57% of the vote, and I'm wondering whether we should just get into the cover video, because of the fact that over the last few live streams it's lost out to other songs. But we might be able to have a look at Parisian Walkways if I stop the vote now. So I'm going to keep an eye on the live chat room to see if people are going to tell me to stop it. And Terry says yes. Oh no, let's end the vote right now. So yeah, people are now saying yes. So I'm going to do this. We're going to watch the cover video a little bit earlier tonight, and just purely because Parisian Walkways is in the lead and is lost out so many times over the last few live streams. So here we go. And it was 57% of the vote in the end. So it did almost kind of run away with it. Right, we are going to be jumping into it. It is 11:15. Actually, let me check out the cover, not the cover video, but the length of the backing track. I'm trying to see where it is. Oh, there it is. So 185 is 7 minutes and 22 seconds. So it's quite a long backing track, actually. So we'll jump into that. Obviously, at the end of tonight's live stream, we do have a troll corner, which might go on for a while. But yeah, we'll jump into this. Obviously, it's my version of Parisian Walkways, the Gary Moore classic. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock!
I remember Paris, 49, the Champs-Élysées, Saint-Michel and old Beaujolais wine. And I recall that you were mine on those Parisian days. Looking back at the photographs, those summer days spent outside corner cafes. Ooh, I could write you paragraphs about my old Parisian days.
Hello, thank you. And there we have it. I always try and time it so that before I interrupt the video, on the video, that I can interrupt the video before I get there. So I think I just missed it right at the end there. But anyway, that was my version of Parisian Walkways. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and it finally won in the end. So we got there, which is great. So yes, there has been another donation over in the PayPal window, so I just want to address that. And Orlando has donated £2, so thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, would you consider doing projects with your old bandmates? So thank you for that. And I mean, doing any projects with anybody is very difficult because of just my schedule and organizing things and having time when I'm free and somebody else is free at the same time. So it is really difficult to kind of, get something in the diary and do it, because especially at the moment, everything's so hectic. But I mean, in the future, I mean, probably most realistically, it would be a case of, if, say, for example, I mean, it wouldn't have really been applicable with the thing that almost happened, that I was going to go over to the USA and perform with Taj Farrant. But yeah, that kind of didn't work out because kind of the visa was left a little bit too late. But it would more likely be the case that it would be a live performance. So not really like a project per se, but just getting, my ex-bandmates, because they know my songs. It cuts down on rehearsal time and getting somebody to learn them and all that kind of stuff. So they already know, how it all goes. So it would, I mean, they would be the first people that I contact if there is going to be some kind of live performance. And I know that in the future, I said with Taj that when he's over in the UK, which Brandon, Taj's dad, said that they might be trying to do something maybe next year. So yeah, when they're over, we've said that we will kind of, play on stage together. And I'm not sure how that would work out. It might just be the case that I join Taj, for a song or two or whatever. And it isn't necessarily kind of a band thing where, you got one band like my band and then Taj playing. So I'm sure that Taj will probably have some kind of support in there anyway. So yeah, I've said I'm happy to be involved in whatever entity. So yeah, that's something that will happen in the future. We don't have a date on that yet, but yeah, if Taj makes it over to the UK, then yeah, we will hook up. So anyway, yeah, back to the question. It would be more of a live performance kind of thing rather than other projects. I don't know what other projects there would be other than us playing as a band, because we were bandmates. So anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. And Orlando's donated $5 again, so thank you for that in the messages. I hope everyone in the United States went out and voted. So yeah, something that I did see on the news, that yeah, over in the USA, people are voting for whoever they want to be president, and I think that's happening quite soon. So I mean, it's obviously people are voting now, otherwise Orlando wouldn't have said that. So yes, this actually brings me into, it's like a segue, is that what you call it, a segue into Troll Corner. So we're going to be jumping into there, and yeah, I'll be addressing a few things. So I'll see you guys in a second. Rock!
Oh, hello.
So the first thing that I want to mention, obviously, some people, I think in the comments section, can't just be objective, and they have to make everything political or have some kind of political angle. So I got a comment from somebody, and they said, oh, I've been subscribed to your channel for a while, but you did a video on Don Henley, and, you pointed out that he was lip syncing, and, now you've done a video on Taylor Swift and you're pointing out that she's lip syncing. So the only conclusion that I can come to is that because they support whoever they support, I don't know anything about who supports who in my own country, let alone over in the USA. But they say, so the only conclusion I can come to is that you're, trying to get people to vote a particular way. And that's the only reason that you've done those two videos. The Don Henley one was ages ago. That was at the beginning of the year. So maybe this person is accusing me of being able to predict the future. And the reason that I did a video on Don Henley back at the beginning of the year is because I knew who would be trying to go for the US presidency later on. So it's absolutely crazy. But anyway, this person said, so I'm unsubscribing because it's obvious what you're doing. And yeah, and just to throw it out there, nothing I do on the channel is political. This is literally just requests that I go through. And I can honestly say I don't know who supports who. And really, I don't care. I'm just doing an analysis video on a performance. And I'm looking at the performance and the vocal. And if it just so happens that two people who I've pointed out that are lip syncing both support the same person, that's just a coincidence. They haven't been analysed for that reason. So yeah, there you go. There's the first bit of Troll Corner. And another one which I did save on my phone. Again, there is one person who's copying and pasting the same comment, even though I replied to them and address what they're saying. And I address that what they're saying is untrue, because they keep copying and pasting the same comments saying, this guy is using edited data or fraudulent data, so what he's saying is a lie or something like that. And I've responded to them, and I've said, what I'm analysing has been uploaded by, Taylor Swift, and that's the video, has been uploaded by Taylor Swift fans. And you can cross-check the videos, because I put a link. In order to cross-check the videos, I put a link in every single analysis video that I do. So you can hear that this is the same audio. So what this person is saying is, and I have explained it to them, but even after I've explained it, they're copying and pasting their comment all over the comment section, saying that, oh, it's fraudulent, that I've edited it and it's all fake. So in order for that to be true, it means that Taylor Swift fans are editing their own footage so that it's fraudulent online of who they're supporting. They've come up with some kind of fraudulent audio and still decided to do that on their favourite artist. And I was thinking about it earlier, that would mean they would have to have done that, 8 months ago for my future video. They would have to have already had the foresight to edit it 8 months ago to have that audio that's fake, hoping that I might check it out at some point. So it's absolutely crazy to say that, especially when you can cross-check it all and people can cross-reference it, that it's crazy to say that what I'm using as my source material is fraudulent. You can go and see it's been uploaded by fans. So what the person is saying is he's actually blaming other Taylor Swift fans. So he's blaming himself. So, it's even more crazy the more you analyse it, that he's having to go at himself as a Taylor Swift fan for providing the evidence. So, yeah, absolutely crazy. Anyway, and this other one says, and this is going to be the last one for Troll Corner tonight. This one says, one guy alone in his studio. And first of all, I could ask my sister to sit in the corner. If that makes the analysis more valid, if I've got somebody else in the room, maybe I can get my nephews round and say, oh no, you've got to be with me in the room, because it makes my analysis videos more valid, because it's not just me doing it, you're in the room with me. Again, totally nonsensical to start with that. One guy alone in his studio, using his own equipment, interpreting those results based on his evidence, and opinion is not definitive proof of anything. So let me just address that. So using his own equipment, I clearly state I use Moises.ai to isolate vocals. I don't own that. That is a third-party company, and they're based in Brazil. So I have no control over that third-party company. I use that software. And guess what? Everyone else can use that software to cross-reference the results, saying that my own equipment. Again, I'm using the Vocal Pitch Monitor, which is a free app that everyone can download to cross-reference the results. I haven't designed that. I've got nothing to do with that. Again, I think that's either a Chinese, I think it might be a Chinese company that developed that particular app. Nothing to do with me. So again, that's nothing that I've developed. And saying using my own equipment, I can say, yes, this is my mouse. And this is my microphone. These are my guitars. And I've got a keyboard here that you type letters on. I own that. I bought that. That is my equipment. But that's not what I'm using in order to do the analysis videos. What I'm using is very specific third-party equipment that everybody can download. And that's the point of it. So anyway, and saying that based on his evidence and opinion is not definitive proof of anything. That is true, that opinion doesn't prove anything, but having a line that overlaps its own vocal line from one performance to the next, that's either days apart, months apart, years apart, that is proof, because that's impossible to do, and everybody who's in production knows that. So it is definitive proof. And saying evidence in inverted commas, again, because this is under the Taylor Swift video, they're citing my evidence as not being proof, but the evidence has been provided by Taylor Swift's fans. I haven't gone out there with my phone and gone to a Taylor Swift gig, in Tokyo, and where else was it? Portugal, and well, there was one in the UK, Liverpool, but Liverpool's a long way, and you would know straight away, because I wouldn't be able to do my video for that night because I had to spend the day traveling. So I haven't been to these different countries with my own phone recording it and trying to make it all fraudulent. It's been recorded by Taylor Swift's fans. So the evidence doesn't need to be put in inverted commas, but I know what this person is implying. Anyway, they say, I've been a long time fan of Phil and his channel, but the content has seriously declined recently. Even if this is true, so what? ? The reality is she is making billions, with worldwide popularity, and you are relying on Patreon donations. Phil, I expected better of you. And I just want to pick apart a few things, because I take issue with when people refer to that second point, saying, I'm relying on basically support of people that like what I do. That's exactly the same as Taylor Swift. People are supporting her because they like what she does. So trying to say that those two things are at odds, again, is an incorrect statement. It's totally the wrong way round. It's like saying, she's successful and popular because people like her, whereas you're only successful and popular because people like you. It's like, they're just different amounts of money, and of course, it'd be great to earn billions, but it's not about money. I've said that my goal was always just to be able to do music full time. That's it. As long as I'm doing that, I'm happy. I don't care about earning billions. That's not what it's about for me. And certainly, I can honestly say that I would not charge anywhere near the ticket prices that are being charged, because I do everything myself. So I would decide what I think a reasonable ticket price is. Just for reference, in one of my Phil tunes, I said that £6 was extortionate. So that gives you an idea of how the times have changed. £6 is about $10. So I can say that, I certainly, I don't think I would feel comfortable with that, that amount of money, people paying that for, a show that I would know would be making a gross profit by the end of the tour of over 2 billion. I think, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, that's just an artistic thing, an artistic choice. But anyway, so that last point doesn't make any sense. But saying that, the content has declined, and saying, even if this is true, so what? Again, that's a total contradiction to this whole point, because saying, one guy alone in his studio, it's fake, and it's not definitive proof, it's an opinion. The content has really declined recently, and so what? It doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, you wouldn't be making this comment. And loads of people have been saying this, that they get really defensive. Obviously, what's happened here is I've covered somebody that they like. So dealing with the fact that I've pointed out that it's mimed, that it's lip synced, and there's also auto-tune throughout the live performance, that's something that is difficult to deal with as a fan. If you idolize someone and you think they are doing it, it's difficult to accept now that it isn't what you thought it was. And that's why this defensive kind of comment is made. But then they say, but so what? Everyone knows anyway. But if that were the case, then there would be no need to comment, because you'd know that I'm just pointing out something that everybody else knows. As I said in my last live stream about Charlie Puth, who's quite open about using auto-tune live, I got 0 comments from his fans, because I'm just pointing out something that everybody already knows. So there's no need to comment about it. Whereas this defensive kind of comment, unfortunately, shows that they know that people don't know, and that they see it as a negative that people now do know. So, anyway, Yeah, saying, Phil, I expected better of you. If you watch my channel, you'll know that I do objective analysis videos, so you should have expected the same from me, from every single analysis video that I've done. And just reminded me of somebody else who said, why, as a Bryan Adams fan, have you made this video showing that his vocal has been, auto-tuned or pitch corrected? And I said, because my channel is objective. People that I am a personal fan of, I still am going to do an analysis video in exactly the same way. Because if I don't, if I'm cherry picking different performances because, they're people that, I might not be a fan of or not be a fan of their particular music. If I'm doing that, then that's not objective. You've got to look at everyone. I've got to look at Bryan Adams as well as Taylor Swift. I've got to look at Bon Jovi. I've got to look at different bands that, I am a personal fan of, even if it means I'm having to point out stuff that I find difficult to, come to terms with. But I do, because it's objective, and that's what life is all about. You have to, come to terms with things and accept that the truth is the truth, and objective proof is objective proof, and it is what it is, and you have to deal with that. Imagine if I started getting defensive about my own objective analysis video that was done on Bryan Adams. It wouldn't make any sense. So this is it. That I'm all about just being honest with it and just pointing out exactly what's going on, because the subjective view of it doesn't change the results. It doesn't change what's going on. I mean, it might change your opinion of the artist because it's something that you don't really want to know, but it is what it is. But anyway, let's move on, because we have a Phil Jam to get on with for the end of tonight's live stream, and because we've done the cover video, it means that we will be able to fit this all in, so it's good. And Danny's donated £20 as well, so thank you for that, Danny, and that is a straight up donation. And we've had another donation from Sue in the super chat window for $4.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, let's get out of troll corner for a second, and then we'll get into Sue's message.
Bye-bye.
So off he goes. Thank you, Sue. The message is, I apologise on behalf of my very polarised country. Bad troll, bad. So thank you for that. And I mean, this is another thing, I don't talk about politics on my channel, but I think actually it's something that you can draw that parallel with musicians. For some reason, it's almost like fans of particular artists see it as almost like a religion, and they are so into that artist. Again, the last point that I just made, that person's been watching my channel for a long time, and they haven't had a problem with any video apart from the one that I just did, obviously on an artist that they are a fan of. That's where it becomes the problem. And quite a few people say, I'm unsubscribing because I don't like what you're doing. I think it's it's not fact, it's just opinion. But they've agreed on every previous analysis video as it being objective proof. But as soon as it's now an artist that they like, it's now for some reason, but it's not like the other videos. It's now something that you've made up. You've fabricated it. It's false. It's all the same. But as I said, it's sometimes very difficult to, especially when you're that much of a fan, that it might be a belief thing. It's like questioning your own beliefs, But I think it's important to, enjoy music, but also have a bit of a grip on what is real and what isn't real. And then, make your I was going to say artistic decisions, but your decisions about artists that you listen to, that you enjoy, you can then make your decisions based on what they actually do. And other people that might not be doing the same kind of thing, you might just have to adjust, and think, actually I prefer somebody that can go out and, do it fully live and doesn't, maybe rely on, pitch processing and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to turn on the microphone for the guitar. We will grab this, and right, you're gonna have to let me know if you can hear this, if it's all fine from a mixed perspective. Let's actually get the track going. So let me click on this. Is there going to be an... Oh no, it went straight into it. So this is pop rock backing track jam in A minor, and then A minor, F, C, G, 70 beats per minute guitar backing track. And this comes from Amplified Jam Tracks. So let's have a listen to this. See if I can hear it, which helps. understated here. So, can you hear this? Oh, zoom out. Zoomed out. Clean. We'll go clean, see what happens. Can you hear this? Can you hear this clean tone? Dirty again. We've only got a minute. And we're fading out. You can't do anything with a fade out, unfortunately. So, there we go. That was pop rock backing track jam in A minor and an A minor F C G 70 beats per minute guitar backing track from Amplified Jam Tracks. So thank you for sending that my way, Joe. And yeah, I mean, a relatively interesting backing track, just the same thing over and over again, but at least we had a little bit of a dynamic change going on as well. So, oh, Tammy's jumped in there. Oh, no, Karen. Oh, Diamond Girl. Just 3 other ones in there. So Diamond Girl's donated $3. Thank you for that. And there's some rock horns going on. Karen's donated $2. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, here's Chipper's donation. Great jam, Karen. So thank you for that. And then Tammy's donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, that was a beautiful jam. So thank you. Yeah, a little bit understated for tonight's jam. Not a whole lot of shred-tastic stuff going on, but this is it. With the slower songs, it's kind of all about melody. So thank you for sending that my way, Joe. I'm just checking that we are up to date with everything, and we are. So yeah, I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night. As to what that video is going to be, I don't know, because I'm working on this video for Sunday. So yeah, look out for whatever I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. And yeah, I'll be live streaming on Saturday night, of course, so look out for that as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!